Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. Cobra here, and I'm back with Grounded. Now in Grounded, there are a lot of different play styles, a lot of different weapons and builds for weapons that you can use. One that I've hardly ever seen talked about is archery. Can you actually make a full build that is actually viable and works well as just an archer? Let's give it a shot and let me know what you think in the comments. So for this build, I've already got it kind of set up for us here. You see, I'm going to use the Wolf Stringer that is currently the highest tier bow that we have. And I've got it upgraded to +3. You can see currently we are dealing, well, 74.85, with everything. You can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 full bars of damage with it like this, which is really good. As far as equipment, we've got the Marksman Cap. I prefer this over the B set because it has straight bow attack to increase the base damage of your bow, and then still increases damage to the weak points. Then I have 2 B parts for more better draw, to give you longer time for that perfect shot, and then the increases damage to weak points. Meaning that's 3 that are going to increase damage to weak points, 1 that'll increase straight bow damage, and 2 that will give you longer time that you can use for a perfect shot. And then as a trinket, I have the charge shot damage. So this is the setup I'm going to recommend for straight damage. If you wanted to go with the B helmet instead, then it would just give you a third one of this, which basically just substitutes the bow attack for the longer draw time. In this case, I want to go for as much attack as I can, so I'm going to go with the Marksman Cap. And then a big thing here is going to be mutations. Now, you're obviously going to want the Sharpshooter mutation. What does this do? Fully charged bow shots gain additional critical hit chance. It's going to make it so you crit more often. Higher you have this, the more frequently this will happen. Granted, I only have this level 1, so I need to get this up a lot more. Another one that I think a lot of people are not going to have thought of that's good with this is the Ambush perk. The reason for this is this gives you bonus when you hit an enemy that doesn't see you. You deal an automatic critical hit against them if they are unaware that you're there. Meaning the first hit will guaranteed be a critical. Now, other than that, there's only one other mutation that will actually be beneficial damage-wise, and I don't have it yet. It's this one right here. It requires you to get 25 gold cards for the bugs, which is about a 1% chance on each of them, and I have not gotten lucky enough to have gotten that yet. But that increases the critical damage multiplier, so your critical hits deal even more damage. That's another one that will make this even more effective. So your first shot especially will do even more damage once you get that. But for now, since I don't have that, I just have the one that allows me to run faster. Since I'm using only a bow, I'm going to need to get away faster, and then the one to get my stamina back as soon as possible. Now, let's jump in. Let's give this build a test here. And then another thing I'm going to recommend, if you're going to want to actually deal lots of damage, you want to make sure you have the right type of arrows. So I've got both spicy and mint arrows, and then some normal arrows. The reason for this is because some things are going to be weak to fresh, some things are going to be weak to spicy, and then this will give you bonus damage towards them, which can make all of this even better. And then I also have some disruptors for any orc things that we're going to be fighting. So that's kind of the base for this, and then there's a few other things that I'll talk about right now as well that will add on even more to this. Okay, so I went and grabbed a few more things that are going to help with this build. Now, some of these are not going to help with everything, but certain situations. This one, the Mac and Bees, is going to give you an additional chance to get a critical hit on enemies, which stacked with everything else makes that even better. Liquid Rage is going to increase your attack damage, and then Larvagna is going to give you weak point damage. Now, this only applies to enemies that have viable weak points, because some enemies do not, but these 3 things combined are going to then stack on top of everything we already have, and you're going to be able to deal massive damage. So now that we have all of this stuff ready, we're going to throw it in our hotbar here. And where'd my bow go? Oh, it's in my hand. Okay. Should have everything, and then we will go find ourselves an enemy, and we'll show you how this works. Okay, so there is our first target. We're going to be taking on this Orb Weaver. So I already ate the food, so this is going to give me the extra weak point damage, but we're actually going to add in the smoothie. Now, keep in mind you can have one smoothie effects and one food effects going at once. So now that we've got this, we equip ourselves with a spicy arrow, since this is weak to spicy. Right? And we can see that it literally did more than half of its health bar. If I can hit it again, goodness. Yeah, almost 2-hit kill on that. Oh, crap. We've got a big scorpion. So even though he's not weak to this, he still takes quite a lot of damage. You want to just charge your shots like that. So you can see... Oh goodness, why can't I hit this stupid thing? There we go. You can see even without having the actual, like, weakness things on it, you know, like on the Scorpion, it still does quite a lot of damage with this particular build, which is why we built it. We built it for basically high crit chance and high damage output. So this you can obviously use literally on foot, like I just did, against scorpions, spiders. I have not tested this yet on a wolf spider, but I've tested it on everything else so far, and I haven't had any issues. Just make sure that, you know, if possible, you use the right foods. You want to keep that attack potion on, or liquid rage is what it's called, and then you want to make sure that you have, I would probably say, the food that gives you the critical hit chance is the better of the two, since you can only go with one, unless it's something you specifically know has a weak point. But overall, you can deal quite a lot of damage with this build. I mean, you can almost 2-hit Orb Weavers with it, so you can get really far. And I'm sure that, you know, as more updates come out, they'll keep adding more and more ways to make this work. And then, like I said, if you want to take this even to the next level, you just need to unlock this mutation right here, which I'm currently working on, which just requires you to get 25 gold cards, which is just a 1% chance from every enemy that you loot its corpse. So that'll then increase your criticals even more, and then give you the potential to almost one-shot big enemies like the Orb Weavers. Now, if you think that there's a better way to build the Archer build, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, also let me know in the comments, and let me know if you guys have anything else that you want me to make a video on. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.